Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and today I have a good recipe for you. We're gonna make crock pot mashed potatoes. Yes, you can actually make mashed potatoes in your crock pot. It's a no boil recipe and you just set it and forget it. Let's make it. I've got a good one for you today. I'm making mashed potatoes in the crock pot. Did you know that this was even a thing? Right? It's a no boil recipe and it's super simple to make. If you've ever made mashed potatoes in the crock pot, let me know below. If you would like today's full recipe, just say recipe below and we will send it to you. I forgot one more thing that I need. I need my measuring spoon. I have to have my handy dandy magnetic measuring spoons, right? Oh, I need a knife. Oh my goodness, hot mess express today. Gotta have my large knife too. Okay, friends, okay, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So, crock pot mashed potatoes is what we're making today. You can get the full link in the description below. You can always go to eatingonadime.com and type in crock pot mashed potatoes. Or if you want to, just type in mashed potatoes and we'll show you all the different mashed potatoes recipes that we have to offer for you because I'm a mashed potato fan. I love the mashed potatoes, so let me know below. Now, this recipe is so fun and perfect for any holiday. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, anytime you're going to gather together. But honestly, it's good for any day. But if you need to make mashed potatoes for a crowd, this is perfect. Now, what I love about it when you're taking it to like a potluck or a barbecue or for family is that since you're making it in the crock pot, it stays warm. And you don't have, nothing's worse than cold mashed potatoes. Uh-oh. Did something mess up? Let me check. Okay, so stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm gonna tell you a little trick on how to have the perfect mashed potatoes when you need them for a party to last a while, okay? Where they're not all dry and crusty. We're gonna talk about that towards the end. So let's make mashed potatoes. The first thing you're gonna need is russet potatoes. Okay, I have one here, just a regular old russet potatoes. I already peeled most of them just because who wants to watch me peel potatoes? So the first thing we need to do is peel the potatoes. You can peel them any way you want. If you want to leave the skins on, you can. I have kids that do not like it. Now, when I don't really like russet potato skins as much in my mashed potatoes as I would if I was making, let's say, with red potatoes. I love like red potatoes and all the stuff inside the mashed potatoes. But you do you, right? I'm just kind of scraping off some of the batter parts. Is that a word? Some of the bad parts on the mashed potatoes. Remember, just drop the word recipe and we'll send it to you. Okay. Oh my goodness. I love me some mashed potatoes. And this is why I didn't plan to peel all the potatoes on my video because I'm a wreck. Get your kids involved so you do not have to do it. Okay, let me clean this up. So you're gonna start out this, you want at least 3 pounds of russet potatoes. 3 to 5 pounds will work. We've already peeled our potatoes and then we're gonna chop them up in some chunks. The smaller the chunks, the faster they'll cook. Let me turn this on to high. The bigger the chunks, the slower it'll cook. So that kind of helps you depending how long you need it done. I guess I should just take the lid off. That would make a lot more sense. Now, we just talked about the russet potatoes, but honestly, you could do Yukon Gold potatoes or you could do red potatoes as well. And you can completely jazz up this recipe. Now, when you go to eatingonadime.com, you're gonna see that we have lots of mashed potato recipes, from garlic to cheesy to bacon to loaded. We've got so many amazing mashed potato recipes, and a lot of those could be converted to your crock pot, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Isn't it so fun though? You don't have to boil and all of that, drain them. Now, if you look, you'll notice I'm not using my fancier crock pot. I am using a crock pot with a ceramic insert, and there's a reason for that. There's a crazy reason for my madness. If you know, I do like my non-stick insert, but I want to have as little dishes as possible. So I'm actually going to mash these potatoes inside my crock pot. I'm gonna turn on, you can either do your hand or a hand mixer and mix it in there. I don't recommend doing that if you're using a non-stick crock pot because it will like chip at it and, you know, make the non-stick part flake. But if you have a ceramic insert, you can. Pro tip. Okay, I got one more to chop up. This is gonna be a heaping amount of mashed potatoes. Now this is also fun because we've got a post on Eating on a Dime with leftover mashed potatoes. So if you're making too many, not a big deal. You can use it for a second meal. One of my favorite things is to make potato pancakes, or actually they're called potato cakes. And it's a fun, easy side dish to use leftover mashed potatoes. Or you can use them in like a shepherd's pie. Okay, so next, we got all that in, as you can see. Then we're gonna throw in, we need a half a cup of butter. You could just throw it on top if you wanted to, but I'm gonna kind of slice it up so we can get the butter melted all over instead of just in one spot. So I'm just quickly slicing it into chunks. And I'm just gonna throw it around on top. That way that butter is a little bit more evenly distributed. We're gonna throw in 1 cup of milk. Now, the recipe calls for 2 cups of milk, but we're only using 1 cup right now, and then we're gonna use the other cup as needed when you're mashing it up. Okay, then we need our seasonings. I'm going to do a giant tablespoon of minced garlic. Now, if you're not a big fan of garlic, then you can leave this out. But since we're slow cooking this, this is gonna have that delicious garlicky flavor. It's almost gonna taste like infused garlic butter in your mashed potatoes, which is amazing because we're slow cooking it. Okay, now we're going to throw in some salt. And some pepper. Get excited, right? Is this not so easy? If you don't like pepper in your mashed potatoes, you can eliminate that as well. We're gonna add the lid. You can cook this on low. Hold on, let me check. You can cook this on high. I like to do high, sorry, yeah. High for 4 to 5 hours, and that's it. Okay, so once this is finished, once the potatoes are fork tender, I'm just gonna get my hand mixer and mix it inside my crock pot because I'm using my ceramic one. Then you're gonna take another cup of milk and you're gonna pour as needed to get to the consistency you like. If you like extra chunky mashed potatoes, you might not need much milk. If you like super creamy, you might wanna up it a little bit more. I tend to need about a cup of milk to get the consistency that I like, but you do you, right? You do you, boo. And then you can season with salt and pepper as you need it to your taste. Can you use a dairy-free butter and milk? Of course you can, definitely. Go for it. Yeah, I love that idea. So simple, so easy. Okay, now let's talk about if you want to make these different. If you want cream cheese potatoes, you can do that. If you want a 3 cheese potatoes, you can do that. If you want a loaded potato, you can do that. Now you're gonna do all that after it's done cooking. So if you're wanting to make like a loaded mashed potato, which would be like chives, a ranch mix, cream cheese, I would throw in the ranch mix now. And then I would throw in the cream cheese and the bacon and everything and chives and mix it all up then. I would wait because the cream cheese will melt and get all good in there. So, I mean, there's so many possibilities with this simple. And what's so fun, let's say you want to do, like we have a really popular, it's kind of like a twice baked potato, mashed potatoes. And we do it in the Instant Pot, but you can do this in the crock pot. So you're gonna throw in like sour cream, you can do chives, cheddar cheese, some ranch mix if you want, and then you're gonna stir it all up and mix it all up and get it to the consistency you like, and then you're gonna top it with cheddar cheese on top, bacon crumbled on top, more chives, and then add the lid and let it melt and get all gooey on top, and you just made a mashed potato casserole without ever having to heat up your oven. So since summer is around the corner, excuse me, since summer is around the corner, that's an option too for all your summer barbecues. So easy, so fun, right? Okay, so if you need the recipe, I do have the link in the description. You can always go to eatingonadime.com because you do not want to miss any of our easy family-friendly recipes, or you can just say a recipe below and we'll send it to you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope I inspired you to make something fun in your crock pot. Bye, friends. So now the potatoes are fork tender. I'm just going to take my hand mixer and start mashing up the potatoes inside my pot. Now remember, you do not want to do this if you're using a non-stick crock pot. Only if you're using a ceramic crock pot. If you're using a non-stick one, you're going to want to transfer it to a mixing bowl to mash up your potatoes. We're going to combine all that extra melted butter in there, and then you're going to decide how much milk to add. So we have another cup of milk to add until we get to the consistency that we need. So we're just going to keep mashing it and adding in the milk until you get to the desired creaminess or chunkiness that you like your potatoes. I'm about to the consistency that I like for our mashed potatoes. I like them nice and creamy. Now, a little tip, if you're going to cook this and keep this warm for like a party, let's say you're not going to serve it an hour or two, I would add extra milk to your potatoes because mashed potatoes will harden and thicken as they sit. So if you're not going to serve this for a while, or if you're going to keep it on warm for a while, then just make your mashed potatoes a little bit runnier than you like, or you can add more milk and butter or whatever you need and whip them right up right before you're going to serve them again if you'd like. Either way, it works great. And that, my friend, is how you make amazing mashed potatoes in your crock pot. Don't forget, you can get the full recipe in the link in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me. I would love it if you would like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our real recipes for real families. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.